Okay, so start करते हैं function properties and methods. So function are same like JavaScript objects, so they can also have some properties and methods. Like function mean with 3 arguments: return x plus y plus z. So इस function की भी 3 properties हैं. Check. Function name is mean. So mean dot length is a property which returns 3. So mean dot length means number of parameters. Second property is name, which is name of function, which is always a string. So mean dot length is 3 and mean dot name is mean, which is a string. ठीक है, तो दो बिल्ट इन प्रॉपर्टीज होती हैं इसमें, लेंथ एंड नेम. ठीक है, नाउ हम लोग इसको चेंज भी नहीं कर सकते. लाइक दीज आर रीड ओनली प्रॉपर्टीज. सो मीन डॉट लेंथ इज इक्वल टू 4. Now check the length, again it's 3, तो ये कभी भी manipulate नहीं होगा. So we cannot manipulate the value of length. The same manner we cannot change the value of name. So you can see again mean dot name is mean. ठीक है, so we cannot, so these are only read only properties. We cannot write these properties, we cannot change them. So function की दो properties में name and length होता है. So name क्या है? The name of function. And one second. So first is name property and the second one is function में length property. Okay, so we have two properties in function. So first is length and second is name. So like in an objects, we can also add some custom properties in function. Second. So now let's add some custom properties in this function. So main dot, let's say id, a number, main dot valid, a boolean, main dot parent class 10. Okay, so these are some custom properties. So this is mean dot id dot length dot, next one is valid, which is true. So these are some properties, custom properties of function. Okay, so we can also add some method like mean dot age is equal to 22. So again, this is a property. This is a property of function. So function can also have methods, means functions, like getIr is equal to a function and this function will return 2020 minus this, means mean current object dot age. So mean dot age is 22 if then mean dot getter is a function which is 1998. Now change the value of age and this is automatically changed. So instead of 2020, which is a static value, we can also use new date dot get full year to get full year from your system. Now this is dynamic, we'll always get the current year. So this is a property and this is a method. But now let's see how an object is working. So let's say our object name is me or obj. So this is an object in JavaScript. So an object can have name, age, get year. So actually it's same like an object. So that's why in JavaScript functions are first class object. So first class objects means they can be treated as an object. So they have all the properties and method like objects. So they have key, they have properties like this is a property, this is a property, this is a property, and they can also have some methods. So these are custom property and method. These are built-in properties of any function in JavaScript. So this is one of the examples. So it's better to use object to assign property and value, but functions can be treated as an object. Now let's go into some advanced part, and that is called a callback function. So what is a callback function in JavaScript? So callback functions क्या होते हैं? So basically when in a function we are passing the argument as a function is a callback. जैसे in JavaScript there is a built-in function. Let's say first I'm having a function say hi, and this function will print hello in my console window. Now to call this function, this is my function name, and now we can see hello once. Now if I call this function more than once, we can see more than once. But there is a built-in function in JavaScript, set interval. So now set interval is a built-in function in JavaScript. Now the first argument of this function is a function. So let's say our custom function say hi. Now say hi is a callback function. So callback means जहाँ function की argument भी function. So this is a function and argument is also a function. So this is called a callback function. Now see, this function is working. In second parameter we can pass the time, which is in milliseconds. So let's see what's happening now. So after 1 second we can see the new means the function is calling. So this is a function and this is a callback function. So in JavaScript, when the function is an argument of function, it's called a callback function. So there set interval is a function and say hi is a callback function. So say hi is callback. Okay. So now let's create some custom functions where we are using callback functions. In JavaScript callback functions are very important. Okay. So let's create a function. Let's say the function name is let's study. Console.log reading X. So X is the name of the book. Now let's study and book name is JS. So we'll see the output reading JavaScript, and let's comment this code. Now let's study is a function and the argument is a string. So create another function which is open Kindle. Sorry, it's Kindle. Now this is another function, open Kindle. So Kindle, you already know, it's a online ebook platform, same like your iPad, made by Amazon. Now I want to read this. Now there are two functions, let's study and open Kindle. Now there what I'm using, I'm passing another argument. So after this, reading book, X is a book name. Using Kindle. So now we are going to call this. So this is the second argument, which is y, and we are going to call this function. Now let's start, comma, open Kindle. So we can see reading JavaScript using Kindle. So basically we are calling one function. So let's study is what? Let's study is a function and open Kindle is callback. Kiska? Let's study. So let's study is the main function and open Kindle is the callback of this function. So now when we use this, now first argument X is the name of the book and the second Y is a callback. So यहाँ पे the Y1 is a callback. It's a function and see we are calling this function. One thing to be noted is in a callback we are not calling, like we don't need to use this because this function is already called. See the example. Y is a callback and in the example we are calling Y. So that's why there you only need to set the name of function, no need to call. See again, reading JavaScript using Kindle. Now let's say which version of Kindle we are using. So X, open Kindle 1.2. So using Kindle 1.2. Now this is the argument of callback function. Now Z and Z is the argument of Y. So see now, open Kindle 1.2. So using reading JavaScript using Kindle 1.2. So this is a string, this is a callback, and this is the argument of callback function. See, X is a string, Y is the callback function. So that's why we are calling Y, and Z is the argument of callback function. That means Z. So that's why we are calling Y with the argument Z. So this is first thing. Now let's say let's study Angular, open Kindle and version is 1.4. So again, reading Angular using Kindle 1.4. So we can use this function n number of times. This is the example of JavaScript callback function. So callback means when a function is passed as an argument to another function, it's called a callback function in JavaScript. So that's why JavaScript is one of the, in JavaScript functions are first class objects. So they are very superior as compared to other programming languages. These are some examples. So we can also add parameters in a callback function. There's one more type of function in JavaScript that is called immediate invoke function. So immediate invoke or anonymous function, a function which call themselves. So this is an example. It's a session starts. Now we are not calling this function. To call this function, use this or use this. Both are same. So this is a self-invoking or immediate invoke function. So you can also pass some arguments like x session starts at comma x and session starts at 10. So we can see the output that session is starting at 10. So these are called immediate invoke functions. So the best thing about immediate invoke function is they don't have any name, so we don't call them. We can't use this function in events like click and mouse over. So these are functions. There is no name, so they are anonymous, but they are calling themselves. So we don't need to call these functions. Like to call open Kindle, we have to use open Kindle and 1.2. Now we are calling open Kindle function. One second. Open Kindle. Okay, so see, open Kindle. Now the question is why callback functions are very important in JavaScript. So let's take an example that what's the main advantage of callback functions. Now I'm going to write some code which like console.log1, console.log2, and console.log3. So we can see the output, it's 1, 2, 3, and this is the immediate invoke function. Now, if this semicolon is missing, you can see this error. So make sure before starting an immediate invoke function, please use semicolon in the last expression. Okay. So now we can see this is console.log1, this is console.log2, this is console.log3. So this is a main thread, and we can see 1, 2, 3 are printing. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and then session starts at 10. Now let's use a set interval or timeout function. Now this is console.log. Set timeout console.log2. Now see the output. Again, it's 1, 2, 3. So basically our code JavaScript is single thread and our code is going line by line. First it will print 1, then it will print 2, and then it will print 3. We can also use some time here like 1000, which is in milliseconds. So again, this is not a function basically. So again, it's going 1, 2, 3. Now to use timing function with some value, we have to pass a argument, again a function inside a function. So see, again, this is a callback now. So this is not a callback. This is not a callback. तो ये callback नहीं है, but now we are using a callback. So set timeout is a function, and in this function, the first argument is again a function. And now we'll print console.log2 and see the output now. 1, 2, session starts, and 2. Now this has been done, but after the complete code. So this is called a synchronous event loop of JavaScript. So set timeout is doing something different, not in sequence. So this is a synchronous way. So what is happening when a JavaScript thread will read console.log1, he will print 1, but after that he can see a timeout function where there is a callback function. So always JavaScript do one thing, JavaScript remove the callbacks from the main thread into the event loop. And now this function is already stored in an event loop. And when event loop will work? When our main thread is free. So main thread will be free after doing this. So this is the last thing, and after that script will be closed, and after this our event loop will work. And now this is the first thing. Now let's do one more thing. 2 and 4. So now 2 is 1, 4 is after that. So we can see first 2 and then 4, and if we change the order, again now we can see 4 and 2, but there's a timing, like this is a callback function, and now the time is 1000, means millisecond. So now after 1 second this will be printed, and if this time is again 1000, again we will see 2 first and 4 after that. First 2, then 4, and 1 second, sorry. So both will be printed after 1 second. Now let's say the time of this is 2000, means 2 seconds. So this will done after, this will be, the timeout is 2 seconds, and this is for 1 second. See now, first we'll see 4, then 2. Means this will work first and this. Now in the event loop, this will be done earlier, and this is after that. So means in the event loop we have a array type. So we have an array of different functions. So this will be called first and this will be called later on. So this is one of the best example in JavaScript callbacks. So that's why we always say that JavaScript is a single thread programming language. But why JavaScript is fast? Because JavaScript is using asynchronous callback. Okay, and the same thing you can study in our Node.js tutorial, that Node.js or JavaScript is asynchronous event driven. Okay, so event driven runtime of JavaScript. So that's the reason JavaScript is very fast and capable. Okay, so this is the basics of JavaScript function. There are so many things like object as a parameter in functions, and function call method, bind method, then the new constructor function, how to use a function as a class. These all things we will discuss later on, but not in today's session. Okay, so this is about JavaScript objects.